European countries are investigating 3 mystery leaks in 2 major gas pipelines between Russia and Europe. The cause of the damage to Nord Stream 1 and 2 is unclear. The news has sent European gas prices up sharply over concerns that any swift resumption in gas flows through the pipelines is unlikely. And these pictures from the Danish military show bubbles in the Baltic Sea from the leaks. The European Commission says it would be premature to speculate about what's happened.
Obviously, any act of sabotage on any infrastructure is something that we would condemn. As to further reactions, we will have to see, depending on the exact facts, once they are determined.
The head of the Danish Energy Authority says gas will continue to leak from the Nord Stream 2 pipeline in the Baltic Sea for several days, and perhaps even a week. Damien McGuinness has more from Berlin.
I think the big question is what's behind this. So what we do know is over the past 24 hours, these 3 separate leaks were discovered. Now, this is very unusual because one of these pipelines is brand new. It's never been in operation, but it has just been built. It doesn't deliver any gas to Europe because of the war in Ukraine. So just before the invasion, the German government decided to withhold authorization. The other pipeline has been running for a long time, but the reason why this is so unusual is because these 3 separate leaks happened in such short amount of time, and experts say this is very unusual. Now, authorities here in Germany and in other countries, including Denmark, say they're not ruling out sabotage such as an attack from either Ukraine or Russia or some sort of false flag operation. But there's no evidence for that so far, so we have to be very, very cautious because obviously this is a very controversial subject. These pipelines themselves are incredibly controversial because they were built to deliver gas, Russian gas, directly from Russia to Germany, the main source really, or the main form of transport of Russian gas to then the rest of Europe. And this has really been criticised for more than a decade really, for one of the reasons why Europe is so over-reliant on Russian gas. So they're incredibly controversial infrastructure, and of course at this particular time when energy is a key part of the war in Ukraine right now, this is why this, what would usually be seen as simply a technical fault, is creating such a discussion here. What is exactly behind these gas leaks?
Damien McGuinness there.
September 27, 2001, Fairfax County Police were called to an area near Lincoln Circle in McLean after construction workers found bones and clothing near this drainage ditch. This ring, with what appears to be an aquamarine-colored stone and a gold-colored bangle bracelet, were found with the remains of the woman who was later determined to have been shot in the head. There was no ID on or near the body.
When I gave them my DNA, they sent it to the lab while they were sitting here in my living room, and they had 100% DNA match within 15 minutes.
Veronique Duperly describes the moment last month when Fairfax County detectives told her new DNA technology from a company called Othram had linked her Ancestry.com results to the unidentified woman. 1975 came flooding back. Shubi, the nickname everyone used for her younger sister Patricia Gildowie, had been found. Veronique says Shubi was dating an older man who loaned her a car, a white Cadillac Eldorado with red interior, similar to this one, that her younger sister was driving the last time she saw her. That was also the day she noticed the bruises.
Bruises on her upper arms, her shoulders, and the back of her legs, and I said, well, why are you so black and blue, and she said, well, I fall a lot. And I said, no, you don't.
Fairfax County Police say they are anxious to talk to Shubi's boyfriend. They don't know his name, only that he was in his 30s at the time and worked at a now closed upholstery store near Church Street and Lawyers Road in Vienna.
We're moving fast and furious on this case. We know the killer is still out there.
Police believe that there are still people alive, people who may be living in this area who have information about the murder of Shubi Gildowie. In McLean, Jackie Benson, News 4.
O custo de vida aumentou, então eu nunca passei fome nessa pandemia. Hoje em dia eu passo.
Luciano has been a delivery rider in Sao Paulo for more than 10 years. But since the pandemic eased, he says he now earns a quarter of what he used to.
E é uma profissão invisível. Ninguém sabe o que a gente passa na vida.
Despite working an extra 4 hours every day, Soaring inflation rates mean Luciano is having to resort to extreme measures. Instead of going home at the end of his shift, he sleeps here on the street.
Dormir na rua é dormir com a sorte. Até os cachorros mijam na gente. Aqui eu fui roubado, tomei 3 tiros, é complicado.
All this to save an extra $3 a day.
O que mais quebra as pernas é o percurso para ir trabalhar. Então são 33 quilômetros para ir, 33 para voltar. Ou eu durmo na rua para economizar ou eu passo fome. Os aplicativos baixou o valor da entrega. Tem entrega até de R$4,50. É a vida do motoqueiro que ela vale, R$4,50.
For 50 reais, that's less than $1. The delivery apps deny reducing the driver's fees, but for Luciano, the daily struggle is evident. Every day, Luciano queues for hours at this charity soup kitchen.
Começou a aparecer muitas famílias que não puderam pagar seu aluguel e terminaram vindo para a rua. Temos pessoas, para não estar indo e vindo, termina ficando e dormindo nas calçadas.
According to a Brazilian NGO, almost 60% of Brazil's population, that is 125 million people, are now unable to get 3 square meals a day. This is a major reversal to the gains made less than a decade ago when the UN removed Brazil from the World Hunger Map. But in the throes of an election, Brazil's cost of living crisis has become politicized by both sides. President Bolsonaro has recently launched a cap on fuel.
Ajuda, mas esse preço do combustível só vai durar até passar as políticas. Isso é um marketing do governo para poder ganhar o meu e o seu voto.
Luciano's motivation to survive, it's all for his son, who lives 3,000 kilometers away with his mother.
Ó, é o Davizinho. Faz anos que eu não vejo. E quando eu falo do meu filho, eu me emociono. Me dói. Faço tudo por ele.
So Luciano carries on, driving all day and taking his chances on the street.
I want to bring you some brand new CNN reporting now on a big change in Donald Trump's legal team. 2 sources telling CNN that Chris Kise, the former Florida Solicitor General who just started representing the former president weeks ago, is now being sidelined from the Mar-a-Lago documents case. Let's get to our chief White House correspondent, Caitlin Collins, for more. Caitlin, what happened?
Yeah, John, it hasn't been that long since Chris Kise was brought onto the president's legal team. He's the former Solicitor General of Florida. That's really part of the reason why he was brought on here to help, given this investigation is mainly centered in Florida. And now, despite the fact that he was brought on to help with this Mar-a-Lago case ever since the raid, the search of former President Trump's home, I'm told he's basically been sidelined from dealing with the documents investigation and is not actually leading the legal team's efforts when it comes to this investigation. Now, I am told he does still remain on the legal team. He may be working on some of the other investigations that Trump is dealing with. John, we know there's several of those, including the ones dealing with the civil lawsuit in New York, looking into Trump's business practices, the January 6th investigation that's based out of Washington, D.C. A lot of investigations that he could potentially work on, but it's notable that he's not leading the efforts when it comes to the Mar-a-Lago documents investigation. Part of that reason is because he was hired with a $3 million price tag. That is what was paid for by Trump's outside campaign arm that was dealing with that $3 million paycheck that Chris Kise asked for up front. That's something that is notable because obviously Trump has developed his reputation for not always paying his legal fees. And so we should note, John, that this comes as we reached out to a Trump spokesman. They told us on the record Chris Kise's role as an important member of Trump's legal team remains unchanged, and any suggestion otherwise is untrue. But he is not leading the way here on the Mar-a-Lago investigation. It's not precisely explained why he is no longer going to be really mainly dealing with that. But it is notable, given, John, that's precisely what he was brought on to deal with his experience in Florida law, but now has been effectively sidelined from the Mar-a-Lago documents investigation.
16 past the hour, now to breaking news from Washington, where NBC News has learned the Secret Service took the cell phones of 24 agents involved in the January 6th response and handed them over to investigators. NBC News Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley broke this story. She joins us now. Julia, what more can you tell us about this?
So, Jose, we understand that sometime after Inspector General Joseph Cuffari launched his criminal probe into those missing Secret Service text messages from January 6th, the agency confiscated the phones of 24 agents and handed them over to Cuffari's office. Now, we don't know what, if anything, they've been able to get from the phones. Remember, at the heart of this matter is this text messages that would have been exchanged by agents around January 6th. And the fact that they were missing, they went missing during what they said was a pre-planned upgrade in early 2021 caused a lot of friction and upset among investigators in Congress. And we understand that Cuffari turned this into a criminal probe. Secret Service handed those phones over. And we understand that many of those agents were upset that their phones were confiscated, but really had little they could do about it because the phones do belong to the Secret Service, to the government. But the questions it raises, Jose, is where does the investigation into those missing texts now stand? If the Inspector General has had those phones for maybe as many as 2 months now, why haven't we heard more about what might be able to come off of those phones? And we still don't understand really the nature of this criminal probe or what they're investigating. It raises more questions about this DHS Inspector General. And just last week, his own employees in an anonymous letter called for the Biden administration to replace him.